And this is a red Admiral Butterfly feeding on Buddleia. That's one of the yellow coloured Buddleias. They're usually the last to come out in the summer, and they bloom right through the autumn. And behind the red Admiral you can see another leaf, and it has a small tortoiseshell butterfly on it. And now the red Admiral has taken that one, scared off the small tortoiseshell. I came back. You can see them here, good comparison of the two species in a beautiful light. And you notice that although the red Admiral has red on it, it actually has quite a little red on it. Two red bands really. Originally the name was Red Admirable, but obviously it was a little hard to keep repeating Admirable, and people just said Admiral. So he got a promotion in the Navy despite having nothing to do with it. They are beautiful butterflies, very admirable indeed. And here's another, an even more red butterfly. If I can just get my camera onto it. There he is. And this is the Peacock. Right next to the Peacock is a comma, and you can actually see the comma on the other side of the wings. That gives it the name. The Peacock gets its name because it has eyes on its wings, eye spots on its wings, that is. Whereas the comma kind of has tatty looking wings that look like dried leaves, but on the underneath of the wings there is a white mark that looks like a comma. And it has there's a related species in America called the question mark, which has a question mark on the underside of its wings. Anyway, you can see the Peacock is bigger. The comma is orange and the Peacock is actually blackish underneath and then sort of wine red on top. Beautiful butterflies. Now look at how big the Peacock's wings are there. They all love the Buddleia, and that's why it's called the butterfly bush. And so do the bees. The bees love it as well. And right in front of them, in fact, on this, is a big bumblebee on the other side of that leaf. There he is. I think it's a white-tailed bumblebee. Let's have a look at a small tortoiseshell, just to have a... There you go, there's a small tortoiseshell. Get a close-up of its wings. Oh! Now you might be tempted to think this is a bee, but it's actually a drone fly. So called because they quite resemble the drone of the honeybee, the male honeybee basically. They have big eyes, so does the drone honeybee. But lots of people are afraid of these because they think they're honeybees, so it's a great imitation and it protects them. Now here's a bumblebee. You can see all furry. There are even some flies that imitate them, and they are found here in this garden, but they don't usually feed on the Buddleia bushes for some reason. And those two are still squabbling over the Buddleia. That must have a lot of sugar in it, a lot of nectar. And our red Admiral is still here with his curly tongue. Let's have a look, see if we can get the tongue. The tongue is kind of like a wire, it almost looks like piano wire. You can see it's got white on it and red bands, but it's not as red as the Peacock. But the red is bold, it's more scarlet. And over here we have our two small tortoiseshells, at least two up here. In fact, yeah, there's three. And they're all feeding on this tall Buddleia, flower. And there's about 60 or 70 Buddleia bushes blooming in here at the moment. This is just one, and all of them have butterflies all over them, so you're talking a lot of butterflies. Just to give you an idea of the size, this is about, Buddleia bushes can get a lot taller than that, but that'll be a good typical example. And the butterflies, when they're used to you, they don't mind too much. In fact, the garden is usually the best place to see them, because in wilder areas they're way more frightened of people, but in the garden they get completely used to your presence.